Then certain of the scribes and of the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. Because what it says is you're weak in faith, which really means you're weak in the knowledge of God, which means you're weak in the knowledge of His Word. So you're chasing something that's not God. You're seeking after a sign. Because when you should know God, based on His Word, you don't. So all you're left with, if you want to at least try to look like a Christian, are feelings and signs. Here's the problem. If I make that my currency, if I make that my covenant with God, it doesn't work, because He says that won't get you where you think you're going. But let's keep reading with that. Go to Matthew 7. Matthew 7, verse 21 through 23. It says, Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name have done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Now, there's a lot that's being said here, but let's break this down so there's no confusion. It says in verse 21, Not everyone is saying unto me, Lord. Who can say, Lord? Who can call Jesus Christ Lord? Who only can do that? Only born-again Christians. But, lest you doubt me, hold on to this. We'll come right back to it. Flip over to 1 Corinthians 12. So let's make sure we know who he's addressing in Matthew 7. It says in 1 Corinthians 12, look at verse 3. It says, Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of God calleth Jesus accursed, and that no man can say that Jesus is the Lord, but by the Holy Ghost. So back in Matthew 7, we're talking about born-again Christians, and to these born-again Christians who have gifts. In the other case, they have power, because it says cast out devils. You need power to cast out devils. God is speaking to these born-again Christians, sanctified full of the Holy Ghost, supposedly, and He's telling them, no entrance for you. Why? I don't know you. I don't know you. I gave you a gift, and you got the gift of prophecy, so you thought you were good. This next guy even has the power to cast out devils. Yet God is saying, you left me. Or, left, that kind of means they got someplace first. You just never got to know me. John 17 says what? John 17 says that life eternal, let's read it. So it's on tape. 17:3. Says, and this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. We have a charge to know God, to study His Word, Jesus Christ. According.
Going back to Matthew 7, 22, those who are casting out devils in His name, and you say, I don't know you. Wouldn't you have to have known the Lord to cast out devils?
Right.
This is based on like the sons of Sceva or...
You're right. Good example. Courtney asked a great question about Matthew 7:22. We have two types of people listed here. We have simply someone with a gift. Now, any born-again Christian with the Holy Ghost, which only we can be born again, has access to the gifts of the Holy Ghost. Which means a baby Christian can manifest a gift. That doesn't mean anything. It's just it's a gift. Okay? The thing that determines our righteousness with God is not gifts. Matter of fact, this same chapter speaks to that. Right? Go back to verse 16. It says, you shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. It doesn't say you will know them by their gifts. You know them by their fruit. Now, of course, Galatians 5, 22 and 23 define the 9 characteristics of the fruit of the Spirit. The first one is love. That's the first one. Now, keep that in mind. Go to, I'm going to answer your question, Courtney. Go to Luke 10. And in Luke 10, verse 19 and 20, he had appointed 70 men and he sent off to do some work for him. And they're not coming back and they're happy. And here's what they say in verse 19 and 20. It says, the 70 returned, verse 17, I'm sorry. The 17 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name.